For the past 20 years, my husband and I have lived on the unfashionable side of Percy Street, Arcadia, where I'm well known as something of a local identity. As a matter of fact, they call me Joan of Arc. Not because I hear voices, which I do, although they tell me absolutely nothing I don't already know, every morning 9 till 12 on 2UE and 2GB. No, and not because I once tied myself to the upright of our Hills hoist with a piece of flex and ordered the children to set fire to the washing, which was not the deranged act of a woman in her early menopause, but the calculated move of an average housewife and mother to confront the willful heartlessness of political leaders in this country who know no other horizons than the rainbow of their own retirement fund. I'd like to ask a question, please. Does a double disillusionment mean you get rid of them twice, or what? Never mind. I'm called Joan Morley of Arc because I am a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I'm prepared to stand at the head of armies, if necessary, to lead my relatives and neighbours and their relatives and their neighbours in this state and the next into battles which shall be won, so that those who cheer me on in timid silence one day find their own voices and shout out loud to wake the dead and the dubious. Yes. This has been a bugger of a year, wouldn't you say? Eh? Oh, they said it wouldn't be good, and it isn't. Oh, hell, hell, hell and damnation. Well, we've managed to stay afloat, just. No quality in our lifestyle these days. My husband stopped using his roll-on deodorant. Well, some things have to go. Me, I don't paint my toenails anymore. They hang out the front of my hush-puppy casuals like cockies' tongues with nicotine coating. We can't get ourselves up any longer. We're all so down. Except for our naive children, of course, who in their innocence demanded T-shirts like the other kids with Australia, Australia, Australia written across the fronts of them. No, I said, no! No, that's just what they want you to think. No. The family's fallen on hard times. Well, so's lots of people, I'm aware of that. Look, I don't want pity, thank you. I've got a backbone. Of course I have. I've got more than just a furry Spencer to protect me from the slings and arrows of outrageous bloody fate. Oh, God, 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 God. What gives me the right to take your holy name in vain? Am I relapsed, like they say, because I turn on the radio and hear voices other than yours? I've got a husband who's pronounced redundant. I've got 6 children to clothe and feed. I've got a stain on the carpet where the TV used to stand before they repossessed it. What am I supposed to think? Oh, I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and I couldn't get it off. My husband says, of course not, Joan. It's the rest of the carpet which is filthy. How's that for a negative attitude? Harrison is my husband. That's his full name, Harrison. But he'll only answer me if I call him Harry, because he says he's only half a man now, if that. So, I mean, what can I do? What am I supposed to do? I have no idea. I'm so concerned about him. He's been limping around our war service home like a man with one leg. Oh, it all started about... Oh, I don't know. I suppose it was about 9 months ago. You see, Harry is a sad, competent little man with a streak of bad luck running through him, so thick he reminds me of a steak sandwich. His body and soul hang limply either side of him like thin white bread without enzymes. Well, one day Has comes home from his job at the sewerage farm looking as if the entire bottom has dropped out of his world, and it has. What's with you, Harry?
They pissed me off, Joan. I've been retrenched.
Was I hearing correctly? Nobody had prepared me for this eventuality. I simply could not understand it. What do you mean? What, trenched? What do you mean, retrenched? Don't people go to the lavatory anymore? Well, Harry looked at me like I'd made a bad odour, but what was I supposed to think? When God deals you a crook hand like that, you could be forgiven for thinking he was a member of the Liberal Party and vote him out of your priorities, as I did at the last election. But let's not get political, please. Let's just think charitably instead. Harry has lost his self-respect. He spends hours examining his remains in the bathroom vanity mirror. Now, I pass that room 100 times a day, backwards and forwards, up and down, up and down. He's always standing there chatting to his own reflection.
Look at yourself. Just look at yourself. You can't even shovel shit.
Oh, it's pathetic, isn't it? Isn't it? It is absolutely pathetic. It's just so pathetic. Well, one day the door was shut fast and I needed to answer the call of nature, so I waited. I crossed my legs, uncrossed my legs, crossed my legs. I got worried the wind would change and they'd stay that way, so I knocked on the door. And then I hammered on the door. Finally, I broke the door down. "Harry," I said, "I have got to pee." He was foaming at the mouth. "What's with you, Harry? You're foaming at the mouth." "Get out," he said, looking at me sideways.
I've swallowed toothpaste. Jesus Christ, Joan, can't a man commit suicide in peace?
You what? You what? You swallowed toothpaste? Oh, well, that's rich, isn't it, Harry? That's very rich. What makes you think we can afford that sort of indulgence? Oh, you are so selfish, Harry. You are selfish. How many children do we have in this house, dear? How many teeth do they have between them? More than 180 at the last checkup, if I remember rightly, and I bloody do. Then there's my teeth and your 3. That economy-sized ipana is supposed to last 4 weeks if we are careful. And because you have no job, no prospects, and we're destitute, we have to be careful these days. Oh, well, so much for my scrimping and saving. That's all right, darling. That's right, just as long as you're happy. Just as long as you can selfishly commit suicide any time it occurs to you. I've got a husband who foams at the mouth and 6 deprived children who've got nothing to look forward to in their entire lives with a mouthful of dirty green teeth. Well, sure, I had to talk tough. Something had to be done. What was I supposed to think next? Do you know, for the past month, Harry has been tearing this house apart, looking for 3 old souvenir bullets, which I have been smart enough to put out of his reach, and his pride and joy, a revolver he carried in the war. Now, he killed 8 Koreans and threatened to breathalyse a cop with that gun, and now he wants to turn it on himself. And it's not just because he lost some shitty job at the sewerage farm, it's indignity. Harry has lost his self... Oh, I suppose I should just do it for him, shouldn't I? Of course I should. Just go and get those 3 stupid bullets, put them in the chamber, and they're going to pull the trigger myself. Well, they shoot horses, don't they? Don't they? They shoot presidents, don't they? They shot John Lennon, didn't they? They shot the Pope, didn't they? They killed Jesus, didn't they? Now they've killed Don Lane. Well, he got what he deserved. Why don't I? Well, what am I supposed to think? There's any justice? Well, last Friday I took things into my own hands. I went to the sewerage farm myself. "I want to see the boss," I said. "Where is he?"
He's at inspection point 9, they said.
Right, I said, "I'll find him," and I did. I could smell him a mile off. Listen to me, you great big turd. I intend to lift the lid on this dirty business. It's on the nose, mate. You think Harry's just another number on your bloody list of statistics. Well, he's not. He's more than that. He's a human being with human feelings and emotions. He's at home right now with a face full of toothpaste. The kids think a snowman set up house in the bathroom. They don't even recognise their own father anymore. Now, you tell me something, Mr. Big Shot. What is the use of eating the right foods and helping old ladies backwards and forwards across the streets and praying to God to forgive you and make you a better person one day? If some cog in a wheel somewhere can decide at 50 years of age you're ready for the scrap heap, that is victimisation, and you cannot treat ordinary, decent people like that.
These are hard times, he said.
Just like he was discussing the weather. That's right, mate. And you better watch out, or poor people like us might just withdraw support from your commodity. You'll have hundreds of holes here and nothing to put in them. We can manage, thank you very much. We don't need an arsehole like you to wipe our bums for us.
Look, I've got to answer to my department. The profits are down everywhere. Something's got to give. These are hard times, but we're all suffering one way and another.
The bugger was avoiding my eyes. He was clutching a dipstick and peering into a huge manhole. But what about my husband? Oh, I was so bloody mad. All right, mate, I said, you got Harry out. Now they can fish you out, so I kicked him in. But what would you have done? Now, I'm asking you, what would you have done? We don't want much. I'm of the opinion we have reasonable expectations, like food, shoes for the kiddies. Is it any wonder I hear voices within my heart telling me to stick to my guns while the 20th century performs a lobotomy on people's hopes and aspirations? Well, I'm not going to listen to them anymore. I'm not. I hear only what I want to hear, but I have to believe in something. Have to believe just the one thing. I said, Father Washington, you're all mixed up, collecting sinners in an old tin car. Spare and listen for a restless fool. There's something missing when I need your rule. Hey lad, you tell me you're a holy man, but although I am just a beginner, I don't see you as a winner. I said, Sister Robinson, you're all washed up, collecting teardrops in a paper cup. Please tell the children what they need to know, but will they listen when it's time to go? So what are we to do? Sinners in an old tin car. If I could tell you what you need to know, if I could help you to get on with the show. Sister Robinson, you're all washed up, collecting teardrops in a paper car. If I could tell you what you need to know, if I could help you to get on with the show. Yes, God, you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but somebody's got to tell you. Get yourself on Talkback Radio. Quick, smart. Get yourself a show like everybody else, because people don't know what you're on about anymore. Some persons, to be frank, only know you as a swear word. Now, I tried to tell them about you. I tried to talk to them about your ideas. You know how it affects them. You know what they say? Oh, sit down, Joan. Be realistic. What would you know? And Harry just sits and dribbles toothpaste and rolls his eyes and shakes his head over and over and over. Joan, he says, people don't often appreciate women telling them what to do. You better watch out, Joan. Someone might take a shot at you. You could get yourself killed. What am I supposed to think?